What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to a no-holds-barred player ratings video here on Anfield Agenda after the Reds have started the new year with a frustrating 0-0 draw at home to Leeds United. If you haven't joined us for a player ratings video before, we do want to know your thoughts. So if you haven't contributed your scores yet, feel free to do so in the comment section. If you would like your scores to be part of the viewer scores moving forward, make sure you are signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community that you can join by scanning the QR code in the bottom corner of the screen. As well, of course, as putting the form in there for your player rating submissions. We're also going to be giving you transfer news, polls on the future of the channel, and lots of other bits and pieces that we hope will keep you right up to date. There will be two scores in every card. The upper right hand corner is the average audience score, and the large square in the centre is my score. We've a load to get through, so let's get stuck into it with the referee. I don't think Chris Kavanagh is a very good referee, and you can say that we may have had a penalty by Hugo Ekitike going to ground, but the part that actually wound me up the most about that wasn't the fact that we didn't get to a decision. It's that a manager said if he had gone to ground, we probably would have got it. But yet somehow he doesn't want the players going to ground because we want to be the nice guys. Either way, there was some weird decision making in that game from him. The one that stands out to me the most was when the Leeds goalkeeper had the ball, held on to it too long, and the referee blew his whistle, which should have indicated a corner to Liverpool, in my opinion. And I could be wrong on this. If I am, feel free to clear it up. But he ended up giving Leeds a free kick out and allowing a substitution to be made. That made no sense to me. So all in all, for Mr. Chris Kavanagh, I'm giving him a score today of 4.5. And the audience have gone even lower with 3.7. Next up, Alisson Becker. I have to dock him a point because we were very, very lucky he didn't cost us a goal today. That outside of the foot pass that I think he was looking for either Curtis Jones or Dominik Szoboszlai with was all kinds of wrong. Went straight to a Leeds player. And if that had fallen to a Leeds player with a little bit more poise, who curled the ball around instead of trying to aim it straight to the goal, we would have went 1-0 down. So Alisson got us away with that one. Other than that, though, he was faultless in the game as always. Dealt with the crosses to come in, mopped up things on the edge of his area. No complaints really, but we were fortunate enough to concede from that moment. So my score for Alisson today is a 5, and it's a 5.5 from the audience. Next up, Conor Bradley. I'm a huge fan of Conor Bradley's. I don't think today was one of the better days at the office for him. Gave away a lot of little niggly free kicks. I love that he gets stuck in and involved in these duels, but a lot of the time today, whether it was just the referee being nitpicky, it wasn't going in our way, and it did give away a lot of opportunities with regards to, set pieces going against us. So that and the fact that I just don't think he had a great game today, I'm going to give Conor Bradley a score of 5, with the viewers going for a score there of 5.4. Next up, Ibrahima Konate. And you know what? I don't think the big man really put a foot wrong today. I don't. I have to give him his praise when he deserves it. I think he dealt with everything at the back line today, and we kept a clean sheet. That always means a lot to me. I thought Konate played some good through balls as well. There was a couple that he played over the top into Frimpong, and one that he played straight through the right-hand side as well. That impressed me. So for Konate today, I think it was a job well done, and I'm giving him a score of 6. The audience going a bit lower there with a score for Ibu of 5.5. Next up, Virgil van Dijk, and kind of the same thing applies. He probably will feel he could have done better with the header that I think came from a Dominik Szoboszlai corner. Now look, a header from 12 yards out is never easy. He headed it down into the ground, obviously hoping for it to bounce up into the corner, and it went a yard or so wide. Other than that though, along with Konate, he dealt with everything that leads through with us. Would have lost his battle and could have conceded a goal if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's leg wasn't a few inches offside, and it was offside, but it was Wirtz that was marking him at that moment. All that being said, it was a clean sheet, so I'll give him a score of 6, much like Konate. Next up, Andy Robertson. This game really confirmed to me that I do think Milos Kerkez has now earned the right to be the starting left-back moving forward. Whilst I don't think Andy Robertson did too much particularly wrong today, I just think we're more cautious with him on the left side, and the same channels aren't opened up for us to go around the outside or to create a bit more space. A lot more checking back in. And a lot more narrow, and I didn't really enjoy it. I thought when Milos Kerkez came on, we looked a bit more bright down the left, and he went straight into those attacking positions. So for me, not a great day really for Andy Robertson, so I'm going to give him a score of 5, and the audience agreed with a score there of 5 as well. Now, I got to remind you guys, I don't know the audience scores until I'm going through this as a recorder here. Conor does all that stuff in the background, and I just tell him my score. So these are sometimes as much as a surprise to me as they maybe are to you. Ryan Gravenberch, I didn't think it was a great game for him today. I do love him as a player. I still think we do need to bring in a more natural number 6. But today, again, the middle of the park for me is an area that we just give teams too much space in. And I said it 3 or 4 times in the watch along. If I could pinpoint it, freeze it, and show you a circle where there's nobody within 15 yards in the middle of the pitch, I could do it time and time again. And I think we need to be better there. So today, I'm giving them a score of 5.5. And the audience have gone a bit higher with a score there of 5.6. Curtis Jones, as much as I do think he's improved a lot this season and being one of our better players, I didn't really think he gave us too much today. He's never going to lack in effort and wanting to be in possession, wanting to drive forward, but I just don't think he really added much to us today in that sense. So for me, for Curtis today, I'm giving him a score of 5, and the audience feel a little bit better with a score for Curtis of 5.2. Next up, Dominik Szoboszlai. Look, it was great to have him back in the team today after he served the suspension against Wolves. I do think we always look a better team with him in it. I think his set-piece delivery today was better. I don't really remember too many of them hitting the first man at the near post or anything. Would like to see some more goals and assists from him over the course of a season though. And today we just couldn't find the breakthrough. But I always enjoy Dom's performances because he leaves it all out there. So I've given Dom a score of 6.5. The audience think I'm being too generous. They've gone for a score of 5.6. Next up, Florian Wirtz. It wasn't a good game from Florian today, and I said it early on in the game. He just didn't look himself. His touch looked a little bit off. Everything seemed a bit more laboured and a bit slow and a bit clumsy. He has made huge progression since he's come in. That is undeniable. But today just was not a good day at the office for Wirtz, and I thought his touch was heavy at times. And it was just... The one thing I praise him for is that he plays the game ahead of everybody else. That half second or second in his mind ahead. Today, he was back to being a mere mortal and it looked a bit more slow. So for me, I'm going to give him a score today of 5.5. And the audience has gone even lower with a score for Florian Wirtz of 5.1. Next up, Jeremie Frimpong. Interesting stat that I'll talk about in a moment, but I do love Frimpong in the positions he's taken up on the right. I love that we finally have somebody who can go from a standing position to go past the fullback in the blink of an eye. There was another great ball that was played from inside our own half into the Leeds half, and Frimpong made up 5 yards on the defender. Lots of great stuff to come from Jeremie. Didn't create as much as we would have hoped today, and the interesting stat that I'm going to mention is that Rio Ngumoha created 2 chances when he came on compared to the 1 created in the time that Frimpong and Cody Gakpo were on the pitch together. Just something to think about. So for me today, for Jeremie, I'm giving him a score of 7 because I do think he put in a very good shift and is doing a good job on that wide right hand side. And a 7 from the audience there as well. Hugo Ekitike. I felt like he was on the periphery of the game today. The weird header in the first half, I'd love to know what was going through his mind at that point. You know the one I'm on about, that he headed it sideways and it went off the keeper's head and then went back out. And he was being caught offside a few times today as well that I didn't really like. Just never really felt that the man was able to get into the game in the same way he has been recently. And that's okay. You know, everyone will have an off day occasionally. And today, I don't think Hugo was at his best. So I'm giving him a score of 5.5. And the audience have gone higher there with a 6.1. Now, Milos Kerkez. Like I said, he wasn't on the pitch a minute when he was already making one of those trademark overlapping runs and getting a cross in. And that is what we were lacking at times today. Frimpong was giving us great width on the right-hand side. If only we could have matched that with Kerkez on the left instead of Robbo today, I think perhaps we may have gotten the breakthrough earlier against Leeds as the pitch would have become a bit more stretched in my opinion. But look, on Monday morning quarterbacking it, but I thought he did well when he came on. So it's a 6 from me and it's a 5.2 from the audience. Next up, Maka. Didn't really do too much when it came on, to be fair. I mean, it was more the manager was starting to just bring on everybody at that point, just trying to find anything. First 3 substitutions, I think, in general, a lot of us felt we understood the idea of them, but the impact wasn't the desired effect. And Mac, I thought, was okay when he came on today. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm going to give him a score of 5. And the audience gone a little bit lower than me with a score there for Maka of 4.9. Cody Gakpo. Again, like I mentioned a moment ago, came on and feels like, again, he can only go right. Only turn right. Only turn right. It winds me up. It just winds me up. I can't get away from it. He is a good player. He does chip in with goals and assists, but I wish he would mix up the way he attacks fullbacks and not just cut inside. It'll be interesting to see now that he is back to fitness, how often the manager introduces him back into the starting 11 and if the system gets tweaked again or not. But I don't think he really gave us much when he came on today. So I've gone from a score of 5 and the audience think I'm being too generous there and they've gone for a score of 4 for Cody Gakpo. Federico Chiesa. Didn't really think he did much when he came on either, in all honesty. Got a bit more time than he usually did today. I think it was somewhere around the 75 to 78 minute mark, if my memory's correct. And it just looked a frustrating cameo today from a lot of running into defenders. I think there was nothing in his penalty shout, if you even want to call it that. Others feel like his shirt was being grabbed. I always try to give him my honest view on these, and for me, I thought he stuck his left leg into the Leeds player looking to win a penalty, and I don't think there was a real shout there. So it was a nothing cameo really today from Fede, and I've given him a score of 5.5, and the audience have gone with 5.1. Rio Ngumoha. I hope this is a sign that maybe the manager starts to give him more chances, because as I mentioned, he created 2 chances in the 7 minutes or so, I think, that he was on the pitch today, and he doesn't look out of the level. He doesn't look out of his depth. He looks like he is, again, full of confidence. And we know what this kid is capable of. So let's hope the manager starts to introduce him a bit more before the manager's time runs out and somebody else gets to come in and unleash him. So for me, I thought he did well when he came on today. I'm giving him a 6.5. And the audience clearly agree with a score there for young Rio Ngumoha of 6.1. And finally, our manager. So again, I don't even want to get into his post-match comments because waffle, nonsense, lies, falsehoods, misinformation, I can use all those words to describe it. But I want to focus on the actual outcome of the game. We kept a clean sheet. There's something to that we have to be positive about. But we had a chance to close the gap. It's a new year. Leeds have drawn with us twice now in recent history. And we should have wanted to get one back on dropping the point at Ellen Road. But more importantly, the gap between Aston Villa and Chelsea could have been widened out from the Chelsea perspective, and we could have closed in much closer to Villa. Now we're again asking the questions of, are we going to stay in the Champions League spots? This isn't good enough. It's up to you where you are with the manager. But today, again, it looked like the substitutions at the end were desperation substitutions. What happens in the second half that we lose intensity from the first half? Only he knows the answer to the instructions he gave them. But it wasn't good enough. I'll give him an extra point for a clean sheet because not conceding always is a positive thing. But we are flat, we are boring, we are not good enough, and I've given him a score of 5 today. And the audience think that is me being way, way too generous. So whatever you think about calling me Mr. Negative, I'm not on my own. Liverpool fans don't like this style of football and they aren't happy. And it's a 2.6 from the Anfield Agenda audience. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Anfield Agenda player ratings video today. We will see you guys tomorrow where Conor will be back with an early news update in the morning. We'll try to fill you in and keep you right up to date with the latest on Joel or Donez. So make sure you are in the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp by scanning our QR code in the bottom corner. And we will see you very soon. I'll see you tomorrow for a late night agenda. Much love. Enjoy your evening if you can. Bye-bye.